Very well. I promised you a discussion earlier on, and it's not time for that discussion, but then let's lay the premise. So public service vehicle users will pay higher fares moving forward after the government increased fuel prices. Matatu Owners Association, MOA, has now said the association has asked its members countrywide to increase transportation charges. The chairperson of the association, Simon Kimutai, told KTN News that several routes in Nairobi will see fares increase by between 20 shillings and 50 shillings. But is this all? Let's now give you a bit of detail of the same. Joining me now to discuss the transport situation in the country is my colleague and a prolific writer, Peter Theory. Peter, good to see you. Did you anticipate this situation, particularly with regard now to the increase of fuel prices by the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority?
Actually, Brandy, timely, because today in the morning, I happened to be in a situation where a driver and a standing tout were having an argument because the fares from Kasarani town in the morning at that time is 80 shillings. But today, after the standing tout had collected the 80 shillings, it happened that the agreement had been, it's going to be 100 bob today. So already the increase is there. We can already start feeling it. But Branji, you've just said that the Matatu Owners Association has said that yes, these fares are going to increase. It's just fair that drivers and Matatu owners are compensated for the increase in the prices of fuel. We also have the Uber East Africa saying that definitely the drivers are complaining they are taking home too little in terms of profit margins, and so they are going to increase their fares as well. So I think this is something that's expected, and seeing as to the government might not continue with this subsidy for long, and even with the subsidy, there was that 9 shillings increase at the pump by April last week, was it? So this is expected, Branji, and it's going to keep on going higher.
Very well. I mean, it's quite a situation, and Theory, the net effect of this would be that perhaps the prices of goods are going to increase, because remember, increase of fuel prices is a sure trigger for inflation across all other facets of life. We look at manufacturing, we look at the larger picture of even supply chains being affected. Talk to us about that. Are Kenyans going to feel the effect on the cost of living?
Absolutely, Branji. Kenyans have already started feeling this effect. I think it's been there for some time since COVID-19. And that started kind of downward spiral. It's been bad ever since, because even the Russia Ukraine tiff is actually worsening. I was reading something today from CNN, they're saying that NATO Secretary General and the Britain Prime Minister are saying that this Russian-Ukraine a war might continue for longer, and this is hurting a lot of prices of a lot of products, including wheat, including maize, including fuel, and so it's not about to stabilize anytime soon. Add that up with the fact that already there was the issue we had in Kenya before, where there was a lot of hoarding, a lot of profiteering and such. Sometimes it's not that easy to know if exactly what's affecting us are these external factors, or if some people are taking advantage as well, and so the prices of everything keep on shooting past, the limits we will expect, the extent that we will expect them to increase by. So it's a tough situation, Branji.
Fair enough. We can't sit here and whine all day. What solutions are there, and what alternatives are there for the commuter? Because if you look at the last mile commuters, we'd look at things like do this and the like, but then also they're also going to increase their prices. Theory, what's the solution? What's the alternative for the commuter?
Now, once Treasury does what it said, it's warning on cutting back on state support. Definitely we expect that the hikes are going to be really big. We were checking with you in the morning and realizing that in some of the countries in Africa, the prices are actually way higher than we have right here. So if we were to go there, I don't know what exactly we will do. Everybody's complaining, but then we complain, but there are already too many vehicles on the road. But it's going to come to a point where the common mwananchi, now hit by the prices of unga, hit by the prices of everything, every other household commodity, might not just about manage.
And remember, incomes are remaining the same.
That's the problem, Branji. Incomes are remaining the same. This cost push kind of inflation is going to hurt people big time. And that quote that I saw from NATO Secretary General saying that things are not about to get better out here, including in that biggest war between Russia and Ukraine, means that we have to brace ourselves for the next few months for even probably worse times. We've talked about NMT for a long time. Probably it's time to start thinking about non-motorized transport for some of us. I don't really know how exactly we can handle this at this moment, because I feel like starting today, going home, people will start feeling the change in fares, those hikes.
Yeah, true.
Probably it's time to start thinking about non-motorized transport. Probably you're going to see a walking nation. I don't know if you're going to strike a truce between
like Rwanda.
or like Rwanda.
Okay.
But I feel the government has to come in a little bit and think about the subsidy and how to like hold on to this for a little bit longer. Because if that doesn't happen and the subsidy is actually removed, that Shillings 9 increase that happened last week would have been way bigger. And if it goes way bigger, it's going to be a big problem for the common Mwananchi who is still surviving on peanuts, say.
Let me throw a spine in the works. Do you think we are ready for electromobility? Do you think we're ready? There was a launch of Basigo and these others. And do you think we're ready for that point yet? It's
been a topic that's been there for quite some time, Branji. I think we will say we are ready, but I do not think we're ready. Branji, I started with the issue about NMT. Every single time we have had construction of roads, we have had that aspect not appearing the way we want it to. Like we've had campaigns, bring a trail where a lot of people who actually use Matatus would be comfortable if they were sure they are safe riding, on their bicycles to work. But that hasn't happened. So if you talk about now going the way of taking technology that one leap ahead, I think it's something that we should be ready for, but I don't think we are ready.
But I guess even our infrastructure is not so designed to support an MT, because you look at the just launched expressway, they are actually repurposing it to be able to accommodate exits into the CBD and the like. I want to see how that pans out. We're not yet ready for that. Our designs have had problems to do with that, but I think this is the time that we have to be called into action. I think Branji, this is the time that we now have to stop procrastinating, because within no time we'll realize that it is not tenable for the normal Nairobi person who actually earns peanuts, the least, lives from hand to mouth, to pay that 80 shillings to town in the morning and 80 back in the evening, and they can ride a bicycle and do well at that and keep healthy. So probably this is the time we'll be triggered into action finally. All right, and we hope that a solution will be found soon. We'll be discussing with Peter Theuri, my colleague right here at Standard. He's a prolific writer. I know you've read of him a couple of times. That's why we end it right here on KTN News Business Cafe. Many thanks for your invaluable company. We'll be keeping an eye on the fuel prices to give you a comprehensive update as soon as we have all of this and so much more. We converge again here tomorrow, same place, same time. I'm Brian Jojo Tieno. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.